Welcome back to the channel for this week's episode where we explore the famous shopping street called Ameyoko. Ameyoko runs parallel to train tracks used by various lines, including the Yamanote line. In Tokyo, oftentimes tracks are raised, allowing for the space underneath to be utilized by shops and restaurants, as is the case for Ameyoko. While the primary road is parallel to the tracks, it spills out under the tracks and you can enjoy some delicious food while trains zip back and forth on the tracks above. We've come primarily for food, but you'll find all sorts of options for shopping, from groceries to fashion. Let's head out to Ameyoko and start our food tour.
Didn't take us long to find food. Coming right off of the train, we found a place that was making a panda yaki, which are like little cakes stuffed with different flavors. And I was instantly drawn to them, and we're gonna eat them here with these big pandas.
I think this is a very inappropriate spot to be eating this type of snack.
That's true. It's not very fair to these pandas behind us. We'll go over there and sit and eat these.
Are you ready for the great beheading of the little panda bear?
I am so ready. I am starving.
Poor little guy. Custard.
Vanilla custard.
It smells good.
Yeah.
But I'm waiting for the chocolate. Not a big custard fan.
The cake batter is so spongy and soft.
It smells really good.
Yeah, the vanilla custard is delicious. It has a very strong vanilla flavor. Wow, these are really good. So this place is right outside the gates when you come out of the train station, and it's right in front of you. You can't miss it. It's decorated with the pandas, and they have 7 different varieties to choose from, and they have different, you have to buy a minimum is 14, so that worked out perfectly because we got 14, 2 of each flavor for 540 yen. And it's neat because they can also watch them making it.
Yeah, that's
I love the contraption that they have to make these yakis. They pour a little bit of cake on one side, they fill that up, they pour a little bit of cake on the other side, and then close it up and form the little cakes.
I smelt the cakes before I saw the stand. That's what drew me to them.
Is it really?
I smelt it, and then I saw a big panda logo, and that was kind of like,
yeah,
that was it.
Because normally you get these things, they're called taiyakis, and they're in the shape of a fish.
Yeah, and they're bigger.
They're usually a lot bigger, yeah. But then you get all kinds of different shapes and sizes all over Japan. And I feel like this area must be famous for pandas, because I'm seeing pandas everywhere. There's the big pandas over there that we opened the bag in front of. And I see one behind you, a little guy over there.
The pandas live in the Ueno Park.
Yeah,
too.
That's it, yeah. So it's representative of the area, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So let's see what other flavors we find in the bag. I don't remember all of them, do you?
I do, most of them. There's custard, which you're having now. There's chocolate, my favorite. Caramel, which is a good one. Red bean.
That's a good one.
Pumpkin.
Very good one. That's what drew me over there.
And so I think I got 6 out of the 7. Not too bad.
Not too bad. All right, let's devour these and then start the real food tour, because that was unexpected. But we have some spots we've specifically chosen that we want to hit up today. So we have to finish these cakes, and hopefully we have room. Do you think you'll have room?
I'll have room.
Yeah, I'll have room too. For today's pre-work adventure, Nicole and I decided to come and explore Ameyoko, which is a famous shopping street that runs parallel to the Yamanote line tracks between Ueno Station and Okachimachi Station. This used to be the place to come to buy candies way back in the day, and it was even the site of a black market after World War II where you could come and buy American goods. Let's go in there and explore what it has to offer today. our first official stop here on the street is takoyaki. And we had to wait quite a while in line actually. It's a very popular spot that makes these octopus balls, which is kind of like a cakey octopus ball. And you can watch her making them, which is really cool. Similar to the panda yakis that we had, she has like a big cooking area in front of her with ball-shaped griddle that she's pouring and turning and making her octopus balls. Let's give it a try. The batter is still gooey in the middle. And you get really good big chunks of octopus in there. And then all the toppings, we smothered all over it. It really goes really well. Sweet sauce and mayo, nori flakes and bonito flakes. This is Osaka good. This is really amazing. Wow, I don't know if I can share this, Nicole.
Give it back.
Here, look inside this ball. You can see how gooey the batter still is and the octopus.
That's a big piece of octopus.
Yeah, that's really, really amazing. Wow.
Yeah, Nico's right. It is Osaka level good. It's so soft. She's generous with the octopus and the sauce and the flakes, the mayo, everything is one big gooey mess. We should have gotten 8 balls instead of 6. What were we thinking? Those balls were so good. They were, like Michael said, Osaka quality. And the lady behind the counter, it was just one lady. She was doing it all. She was frying them, putting the dough in, taking the cash, doing the orders. Like, wow. I think if I was her, I'd have been fired by me a long time ago.
I'm sure we're gonna find some more delicious items to try. So let's get back down there.
Our second stop of the day finds us at a little temple, which is directly across from the octopus ball making stand.
Yeah,
very convenient.
Yeah, this place is pretty hidden. Like I just saw the tip of their bell tower as I was standing in line for the octopus balls. And then I was like, Nicole, there's a temple over there. And then we came around and it's amazing. Yeah. It's elevated. It's almost at the same height as the rail tracks.
Yeah, that's what's so cool about it. We're watching the trains go through the behind the shrine.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And it's super peaceful up here, other than the trains, of course.
They add to the atmosphere, silly.
Yeah, but it's a surprisingly big-ish complex. Yeah. Like you said, it's a small one, but it is small, especially compared to what we went to yesterday. But for where it is, like literally right in the middle of the hustle and bustle, it is surprisingly large. So let's take a quick look around and then continue on our exploration of the street down below.
We've just come around the corner from that temple and found this little coffee shop which is selling fresh roasted coffee beans, and as I'm getting low back home we decided to stop in and pick some up.
There's a wealth of amazing and interesting food along the street here. You can find fresh seafood, dried seafood, fresh produce, meats, all kinds of groceries are available. One of the things we love picking up when we're in Japan is nori sheets. So there's a shop here selling all kinds of different types of seaweed, and we've picked out some nori sheets that we're gonna go in and purchase. These food stalls are madness, eh?
It's a pandemonium.
Yeah, it's really busy on the street now. It was pretty calm when we got here, but it's really picked up as it's basically lunch hour, I guess. It's about 1 o'clock. and everyone's come out to the street to find food for their lunch, and it's like you have to fight for a table now.
It's a Monday.
I know, this is nuts.
What would the weekend be like?
I don't want to know.
We'd be hungry.
Yeah, and we're sitting at a little food stall now, which is basically right under the train tracks. So there's trains constantly zipping overhead, which I love, and you can see the reflection of them in the building behind us. And we've ordered some, what kind of food is this?
I think it's Xi'an
food?
Yes.
Like little buns
Yes.
and a pancake of sorts, which hopefully will be here soon because we're both hungry, and when it gets here we're going to share it with you.
That thing was fresh, man.
I caught her making it. They took a big handful of dough and started flattening it out, and then a big handful of meat mixture and kind of jammed it all together and threw it on the griddle. It's really good. The meat inside is super soft. The exterior is super crispy, and the meat inside has made the dough still like really soft and juicy. This was a good choice. We almost didn't order this. We just came here for the little buns, but I saw this on the menu, like I gotta try one of those. It's really good.
I love it when the food is hot like lava and it just burns and sears the top of your mouth when you put it in. And this dumpling fits that category to a T. It's so juicy, the meat and the char ratio is perfect, and the skin is nice and thin and has a really good chew. And the best part is, it's crazy hot. Oh my god, this place is a real good find. When you get a super fat dumpling with a lot of juice in it, this is my favorite way to eat it. Make a little hole and then suck all its succulent juices out. So we are at our second sit-down food stall for the day. The first one was a raging success, so of course we're gonna try to repeat the experience. And so far, I'm really impressed with what I got. I ordered, I know it sounds gross, so don't charge me, but it's very tasty. It's called the saliva spitting chicken. It's not the most appetizing of names, but it is a very famous Chinese dish. And it's very simple, but it's very hard to prepare at home, because what you need to do is you need to steam the chicken till it's perfect, and then you need a special sauce to drizzle on top. And the special sauce takes ages to make with tons of spices, so it's much easier to come out and order it yourself. The chef back there nailed it. The chicken is perfectly cooked. It's nice dark meat, and as an added bonus, he's deboned it. Big success.
This looks a little bit scary to me, just how spicy it is. Nicole is telling me it's not super spicy, but I don't know, the look of that sauce has got me a little worried. But she spoke my language when she said it's deboned. The spice is not overpowering, which is really good for me. It's hitting me a little bit at the end. But the chicken is really nice. It's got some really tender parts, some pretty chewy parts, but it's really nicely prepared and presented here. But I am a bit afraid of this spice. This one looks a little bit spicier. Yeah, the chili spice is good. It doesn't like completely overwhelm you. It just sort of tickles your taste buds a little bit. Just on the verge of being too spicy, but it has a lot of really good flavor. Good choice, Nicole. Nicole went for the spicy option. I went for something a little bit tamer in terms of the spice, but something really interesting. I don't think I've ever had this before. It's labeled as a pancake, let me see here. Pancake rolled with crisp fritter, and it's not what I was expecting at all. It's kind of like an egg pancake. Very, very eggy batter that they've fried, and then they've rolled it around, which looks like kind of like wonton skins that they've crisped up, and it's got some seaweed in it. That's a really nice combination. The pancake's really soft, And the dough fritters, as you could probably hear, were super crunchy. And they put some kind of sweet sauce inside, on the inside of the pancake. That's really good. And a weird, kind of weird to me anyways, addition is this seaweed. Kind of like what they would use to make a seaweed salad. Very happy with this. Ameyoko seems to get all the love, but you have to explore both sides of the tracks, even in between the tracks where I'm standing right now, because there's a wealth of restaurants and shops all over the place. It's super dense and packed in here, and you'd be surprised just how many things they can fit under the tracks. They're making use of all this space that in many places would go wasted. So we are going to continue on our last little section of the street before we hit Ueno and head home, but I implore you, when you come here, don't just stay on the main drag, explore all the side streets and the other side of the tracks. Probably our last stop on the street today, in terms of food anyways, is Niku no Oyama, and they're known for menchikatsu. Menchikatsu is minced meat of various types, formed into balls or patties, and then breaded and deep fried. And I've heard this place is really amazing, and they just pump these out all day long. They're very busy, as you can see behind me. You can either get it to go, or you can get it and stay here and eat your menchikatsu with alcohol. They serve alcohol here, but I'm taking mine home because I'm gonna throw it on my curry rice tonight for dinner, and I'm super excited. So let's go in there, grab a couple, and continue exploring the last section of street before we hit Ueno Station. We survived Ameyoko.
I had so much fun on Ameyoko.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It got really busy at the end there.
It did.
So when I say we survived, I kind of mean we survived.
The crowds.
Yeah.
I really like how affordable all the food was. So you got to really go and try a bit of everything, different styles and different stalls. That was my highlight.
Yeah, I guess that would be a pro tip. Don't sit down at one stall and just order a whole bunch of food and fill up there. Just order a few dishes and then go to the next stall and try it, so you can get that variety, because there is quite a variety of stuff to eat here on the street.
Yeah, and all the dishes were about like 400 yen, so super affordable. So getting a little tapas, trying everything out.
Yeah, and it's a great place to come if you have to go shopping. Like if you have a bunch of things on your list you want to grab from Japan before you go home, this is a great place to kind of one-stop shop. They have everything on that street. I mean, it's one of the interesting things about the street is that it's so random.
Yes.
Like everything is placed so randomly. In some areas, you'll have like all the fishmongers together, all the clothing shops together, etc., etc. But here, it's just mashed all over the place. Like
you would have a golf shop next to a fish shop, next to a fashion shop, next to a face cream shop.
Yeah.
It's just so random, which is good because you have to like really pay attention, because otherwise you'd miss out on stuff.
It definitely keeps it interesting. So this is, again, if you want to buy some souvenirs to take home with you, a great place to come shopping. And if you're hungry, it's a great place to come and eat, or do both. That will do it for us today at the street. We are heading back home. Dinner is served. This is the go-go curry again, the gorilla curry, and I have my two menchis on here. One is a mystery, I'm not quite sure what it is. The other one is Wagyu beef menchi. So I'm gonna try the Wagyu beef for you so you can see what it looks like on the inside. And then I am gonna chow down and relax for a little bit before work starts. All right. Let's see what this menchi's like. So it's pretty big. Look at that. That's my favorite combination, beef and onion. So there's really finely minced up onion in here with coarsely ground beef. And the beef is really juicy. As soon as I bit into it, I got a good mouthful of juice. And despite being brought home in a plastic bag and then reheated in a toaster oven, the exterior coating of the menchi katsu is still really crispy. So here, take a look inside. It's kind of like a big hamburger that's been coated in what I think is panko and then deep fried. These are really good. Put a little bit of curry on there, or a lot of curry if you drop it. Wow, that place is good. Finding a place that specializes in something very specific usually pans out. I'm starting to realize. So I will try this mystery one. It's not quite as big or thick. I have a feeling from the way it feels that it might be some kind of like mashed potato or something. No, not at all. It's another meat. It might be ground chicken. It has a bit of a sweetness to it. That's also really good. I think the Wagyu obviously beats that one out a little bit. This thing's massive. It's hard to hold with the chopsticks. But yeah, gonna enjoy dinner, watch some TV, and then it's on to work. So this may be the last time you see me. Nicole are you gonna come on? Okay. She's been sitting over here chowing down on her clams, which we cooked very simply with just garlic, some of that massive green onion, that thing's lasting forever, and some sake. We got 1 cup of sake. Let me show you the 1 cup. I thought the regular small 1 cup would be too small for what we were trying to do, but so I convinced Nicole that we should get the jumbo 1 cup. This is 300 milliliters of cheap sake. These 1 cups are pretty cheap. This whole thing was 230 yen, I believe, 240 yen, around there, which is maybe $3 and a bit Canadian. So not that expensive of sake. But what we did was we just threw the garlic, the onion into the pan, then the clams went in, then most of this went in, and we just sort of cooked them in the sake till they started opening, and then pulling them out as they opened, and then reduced that sake broth down, re-added the clams, and then she's been chowing down. So let's show you what she's up to over here.
Mike is right. I have been going to town on these clams as he's been filming his meal. As you can tell, I'm down to my last half a dozen and I just can't stop myself. I can't believe how good they are. They were so simple to make. They were really cheap. They were 500 yen, and the place that we bought them from was really neat. It was like a seafood shop, and he would just have buckets, pre-made buckets with a little price tag. You just point to the bucket you want, and he would just take your 500 yen or like 800 yen, whatever you picked, and he'd just dump it in a bucket, and it was a really fast and efficient way to get your seafood. My clam is plump and tender, and you bite into it, all his clammy goodness comes out. Oh, this is another successful at-home meal.
So we hope you enjoyed the day exploring Ameyoko Street. That was a lot of fun, very filling, and we got some good stuff for dinner.
Guess you're gonna see us tomorrow now.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.
Thank you for joining us for a walk along Ameyoko and sharing some delicious food with us. If you enjoyed the video, please help out the channel and give the video a like down below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell so you don't miss any future episodes. We'll see you next week.